Now this video is about the rapture. Now the rapture is talked about so much, and the reason why is because some people believe the rapture, which I call the gathering, happens before the Great Tribulation, and others believe it's after the tribulation. Most people who profess to be Christians believe in the pre-tribulation rapture. If you were to walk around your town and walk into a church and say, does this church believe in the pre-tribulation rapture? They'll probably get really suspicious of you. But if they were to answer the question truthfully, you'll find that most of the churches preach a pre-tribulation rapture. Well, the purpose of my video is to tell you that that's false. There is no pre-tribulation rapture. Now, what's the best way to find out if there's a pre-tribulation rapture at the end time? Well, the best way would be to ask Jesus. To just walk up to him and say, tell me, Lord, what are the signs of your coming and the end of the world? I mean, that's the best way to find out if there's a rapture or not. Ask Jesus, what's going to happen in the end time? But we don't have to do that because Jesus' apostles already did that in Matthew 24. We're going to go through Matthew 24. His apostles specifically asked him to tell them about what to look for in the end time. Now, he's going to tell them what they're going to have to look for, and in order for them to look for these things, they have to be here to look for them. Okay? And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came up to him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and the end of the world? And Jesus said, now listen to this. Remember I'm saying that the pre-tribulation rapture doctrine is a lie. It's a deception. And what did Jesus, first thing he said to his disciples when he said, what should be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? The first thing he says, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Now, a lot of people for a long time have been preaching that when Jesus said, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, that he's saying that many people are going to come saying that they are Christ. That's not what that means. What that means is many professing Christians will come in my name, and they will deceive many. Most of the churches preach a pre-tribulation rapture, and they are deceiving many. Okay, now I'm going to kind of sidetrack here. Well, I'm not going to sidetrack, but I'm going to kind of parallel something here. Remember the four horsemen of Revelation 13? In Revelation, not 13, but Revelation, the four horsemen. The first one's the white one with the guy with a sword, threatening war, and then the second horse, I believe, is the black horse, and it is the horse that is actual war, brings war to the world, and then the gray one is famine, starvation, and then the fourth one is disease. In that order. That's the four horsemen. Now let's read what Jesus said. For you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. That sounds like a guy on a white horse with a sword threatening war. You shall hear of wars and rumors, and see that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Well, there's the second horseman right there, black horse, war. Not just the threats of war or the rumors of war, but real war. And then it says nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, black horse, and there should be famines. There's the gray horse. And pestilence. There's the the red horse. The red horse is the I got my horses screwed around. The gray horse or the pale horse, that's the diseased one. But the four horsemen and the description of Jesus telling about the end time are pretty much identical. But let me move along here. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Now, if Christians who believe in a pre-tribulation rapture are living through this beginning of sorrows, they're going to expect to be raptured by the time that there's famines and pestilence and earthquakes and wars and I mean, things are bad now, but things are going to get really bad during the beginning of sorrows period. I mean, it's definitely a sorrowful period. This is just the beginning, and then this isn't even the Great Tribulation yet. But a lot of people who believe in the pre-tribulation rapture are going to expect to be gone before it gets really bad. And what's going to happen is that they're gonna fall away from the faith. The Bible says that there have to be a falling away from the faith before the Antichrist shows up. Before the Antichrist shows up, there's going to be a falling away from the faith. That's because during the beginning of sorrows period, people are going to be falling away because they're going to say, I should have been raptured, and God's a liar, and they're just going to lose faith in Christianity altogether. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And Jesus is talking about those who are his, that belong to him. And then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and they shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another. It's also at this time when Christians are going to be starting to get rounded up, and when they do, they're going to. These are people who are going to lose faith too, because these are people who believe in the pre-trib rapture. They may not have lost faith; they might have held on a little longer. But once the Antichrist came and started delivering Christians, if they changed their tune. I'm not a Christian anymore, and they should be offended, and they shall betray one another, hate one another. In other words, your own family member could turn on you, your best friend, your whoever. You never know. Cursed, the Bible says, cursed is the man who trusteth in man. Many false prophets shall rise and deceive many, and because iniquity abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That's when people will be turning on each other. And he shall endure, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. It doesn't say, blessed is those who endure until the rapture. And of course, it says, and when you have to see the abomination of desolation. This is what he's telling Christians to look for. Pre-tribbers believe they're already gone, but they're supposed to be here to see this. I'm not going to read the whole thing here. Read the whole chapter. It's going to be false Christ, false prophets, blah, blah, blah. And then it says, for as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth, even so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. It's not a secret rapture. Everybody's going to see it. And then it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven in power and glory. I don't even need to read anymore. Jesus' apostles specifically asked Jesus to tell them about the end time. Did you hear anything about a pre-trib rapture to get out of persecution? He says, no, they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. You shall see the abomination of desolation. Look for these things. And one of the last things that has to happen, in fact, the last thing that has to happen before the second coming of Christ, is that the gospel be preached into all corners of the earth. And that can't happen unless there are Christians on the earth to do that, in all corners of the earth. A rapture destroys that whole concept. That's a demonic deception. Anyway, that's it. There is no pre-trib rapture. It's a demonic deception designed to cause Christians to lose their faith when they find themselves in the beginning of sorrows. Thanks for listening. Bye.